everyone knows who tunes into the show that JD's a huge Josh Gordon fan. So with our final concern, Patrick Mahomes has been hosting for the last week. So since last Friday, I believe it was the first picture I saw of him doing routes with Josh Gordon and some of the guys. He's been hosting in Texas with his quarterback coach and his trainer, Bobby Straub, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. But there's been pictures of Corey Coleman, CEH, Juju Smith-Schuster, Josh Gordon, and videos of these guys catching with their receiver coach, Coach Frog. I believe his guy's name. He's a pretty renowned receiver coach. But he's been with those guys in Texas. And it was last week, and yesterday they had pictures of all the guys and it said #day1. So it's like an ongoing camp they have going down there with Patrick throwing balls to them. What do you got to make of all these guys? And I got to say this. I know it's Corey Coleman. It was a first-round pick from the Browns. He hasn't really amounted to anything so far in his career.
Yeah.
Hard, though, with the kind of the different quarterbacks and all offenses they had in Cleveland. He got cut, went to New York, tore his ACL. It was actually a pretty decent kick returner. I think he averaged like 25-something yards a return that one year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that's a guy, too. Josh Gordon, we obviously know the history with him. And then Dory's Fountain, obviously that there's history with us, him being on the practice squad, making the team last year, didn't really see much reps, but we got a lot of options out there. So I guess my question is, what do you make of this kind of receiver camp that Mahomes is hosting for all the guys, and even CH being there too? I mean, I think that says volumes about how he wants to kind of take his game to the next level in the passing game, because he was a picture of him catching balls. But what do you make of this camp he's got going on down there for our weapons?
Oh, man, I love it. I'm excited. That right there warms my heart. I'm absolutely just overjoyed to know those guys are down there right now working out with him. And here's the thing. He's jumping on this thing right now. He understands, like, look, if it's going to be these guys that I have, I'm throwing the ball to, let's start developing chemistry right now. Let's start learning each other what we need to start doing right now. Offensively, we need to do, let me find out what you're good at, what you're great at, what you're not so good at. And so kind of moving on from there. So it's this right here is a learning process. And the thing is, you got to have these times and opportunities and take advantage of them. If you have the resources and the means to do it, jump on the flight, head on down there. And look, everybody's pushing to say, look, you know what? We don't need a young guy coming in here. These are going to be the guys in the building, and we need to rely on each other right now. Let's just understand it. And so bringing all these guys together, you're trying to create the mesh and the relationship that you need with each other. And you want to make that room so tight, just a brotherhood, just a family. So everybody's just relying on each other. And I think that's the best way to go about doing it. Go down, hey, enjoy yourself, relax a little bit, have some fun, get away from all the seriousness of being at camp, but also go and compete. And so when you start competing like that, everybody gets on the same page. And so it was kind of one of those things, and I just kind of tell you, like with tight ends, during the offseason, we would go on vacation with each other. We would, go and eat dinner with each other. We go and see our families and whatnot. So we developed this cohesiveness with one another. And so when you get to know people more, deeper, a little bit more in depth, that helps you out on the football field, because now all of a sudden your communication changes from being out there with each other to relating to what it should be on the field. And so, what guys are motivated by, what, the competition would do for them. And so you're pushing guys like, come on, man, let's go. You drop this ball, you got 20 push-ups. You got, you do this, you got to do that. And so this helps keep guys accountable. So when you do that, you're just, like I said, you're putting all these guys together, making them a family, the cohesive nature that you want to try to embed into these guys. Hey, that's perfect. Pat, he's doing it the right way. These guys are doing it the right way. These guys are professional and understand, like, look, yeah, we lost a little bit here, but what we're trying to do is you're trying to make this room a lot more better with more pieces, more weapons than what we had. Okay. Might have lost the cheetah, might have lost the bazooka, but maybe we got a couple of hyenas and, leopards and, tigers running around here. Okay. Instead. So maybe we could do that. So that's the way I look at it, man. So it's encouraging. I love it. I love it. It's professionalism. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's guys taking it upon themselves to, put themselves in a good position, because you got to figure there's two things going at play here. The fact they're doing this, 3 weeks before the draft, right? And obviously, like you say, everything's on the table on draft night.
Yeah.
But you got to figure 3 weeks before the draft, you got guys like Corey Coleman, you got Josh Gordon, who really hasn't had much time with them. And Corey Coleman's new to the whole team, and Fountain too. So they're doing workouts with Patrick. They're trying, and you obviously played, so you know more about this. In their mind, they're trying to let me dominate this workout, so Patrick knows what kind of guy he has in me. And
Absolutely.
then Patrick's doing self-evaluations on these guys to go report back to Veach and Reed. I mean, is that kind of what's going on here?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. And so, everybody's taking notes. They really are. Shoot, and sometimes how these things happen, you might hear that one or two guys are going down. And so you're like, hey, man, how come you didn't call me? Hey, let me get on the flight. Let me go down here too. Let me go in here and go compete. And so, part of it is you're trying to, jockey for position. That's what you're trying to do. Why not? If I can become his favorite. Ooh, he looks good on the fade route. I'll run a better fade than him. And so you're like, okay, I got to get my fade route back down. I got to get my out route back down. I got to get my basic route. I got to get my, my post a little bit better than what it is. And so what you also get to do, you get to see the other guys work. So those guys that might be number 4 on the option, looking at the number 1. I'm looking at MBS. What is he doing? How's he running this route? Okay. My route's got to be more crisp than that. Okay. I got to see what Juju is doing. I got to make sure this competition, because when he goes back, he says, hey, Juju is still kind of nursing that knee a little bit. I'm going to show you what I can do on my knee. And so these things right here is you got to encourage the competitive nature and the toughness about what you're going to be enduring on the NFL football field. Because the thing is, man, everybody ain't going to make it. Out of that group, everybody's like, look, you can't keep everyone on the roster. And so the more you can be seen, the more you can do, the better off you're going to be. He's going to make them all. He's going back, no doubt, to Veach and Andy. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, listen, yada, yada, yada was hanging out late last night. He had 10 drinks and everybody else only had 5. So we got to watch out for him because he might be a loose cannon. I mean, look, that's how things work, man. That's how things work. But also, too, what those guys might do is say, hey, man, instead of us drinking 10 drinks last night and getting towed up or whatever we was doing, or going and staying out till 1 o'clock at night, let's all be in bed by 11 because we got some work to do tomorrow. Everybody's in on that. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, cool. Hey, that's how it works. So start building up rapport and stuff like that right now. So, Patrick, hey, man, you find out who a guy is. Find out. Get to know him. Get to know all these guys. And so get to know how each of them are related to one another. But, you best believe he is giving reports back. Somebody's out there like taking notes. I guarantee you there. Well, okay. He don't want to work. He ain't a hard worker. He likes taking these plays off. All that's getting reported back.
So you're saying it's even going beyond what's going on the field. It's like it's kind of everything's kind of being reported.
It's everything, everything, and not to say guys should be like on eggshells. Right. You still be yourself, right? Like, look, sometimes you got like, man, this is who I am. Shoot, I'm a late. I like staying that late. I do. It ain't gonna take me away from my work what I do tomorrow. When I come in tomorrow, I'm still gonna be the hardest worker. Like they were talking like Jordan. And Jordan would stay up late. They were talking about he would just be up 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning. He come in early in the morning with, shoot around and be ready to go in the game. Like, man, how's this guy doing it? He's not even getting any sleep at night. I got to have at least 8 or 9 hours of sleep. He needs 2 or 3, and he's coming out there and he's still dogging folks. So not to say that's a knock, but hey, maybe that's just what a guy, how he operates. So, every guy can't sleep in the bed for 9 hours because if a guy who's used to getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep, this sucker's over looking at the ceiling like this for 4 hours trying to fall asleep. Like, hey, man, this ain't my bedtime. I ain't used to this. So, you got to learn all of that. And like I said, not to be on eggshells, or not to be a tattletale, any of those things. But sometimes, like, hey, man, I like this guy. This guy, he's really good at this. Corey's great at this. And, Josh is getting better at that from what we've seen before. MVS is, hey, man, he's really, fast on these routes. So, it's not just, things to be a negative. It's like, hey, the positive stuff of it.
Right. speaking more towards guy Corey Coleman, who was a first round pick. He was awesome at Baylor. Josh Gordon, we obviously everyone knows his history. What does it say to you about those two guys specifically, the hunger aspect? Because Josh Gordon and Corey Coleman, you could say both have been humbled, right?
Yeah,
for different reasons. But what does it say to you about their hunger level for them to be going out here, doing these extra steps to try to get chemistry with Patrick, to try to really like take this opportunity of having that kind of empty slot at receiver, essentially, trying to make these extra efforts to make the team, or just getting Patrick's good graces to show, like, dude, like I can be that guy for you,
Yeah. Now, look, I think humility, without a doubt, can knock you down to say, man, look, I want to show everybody I'm the real deal, right? Everybody's counting me out. I'm sure he's probably seen, things on Twitter and all through the news, how he's washed up, how these guys no good, this and that. So he's like, look, I'm gonna just go in and grind and put all these naysayers to bed, all these haters and everybody else. I'm just gonna put them to bed. And the only way I could do that is what I put out there as my product, the way that I work and what I put out there on the field. So that's the only way you can convince people, is what you do on the football field. Same thing with Corey Coleman. I like Corey Coleman. I like him a lot. Matter of fact, the first time we got him here and signed him, I thought he was going to, kind of make it thin. So, but they see something in him. And so these guys are hungry, man. They just want to show that, they still got something in the tank. They still have something to give. And so a lot of it is guys just trying to get that glory back, just a little bit. And not even for the fans, just for themselves, right? Sometimes, we just want to know where we are. And so part of it is, with our talents that we have, we want to be able to show and showcase it to everybody else. And then, let the chips fall where they may. Let them fall where they may. So that's why I'm so high on Josh. And I hope Corey does a great job while he's here. I just want what's best for him. I want those things for them. That's what I want. I want Josh to absolutely make it because of the pain that he's went through and because of the Corey has gone through. Man, they've been around some tough roads, and people's going to count them out. And I think it's time that, stop counting them out. Somebody gets behind their back, get them a little win between that sales and push them forward, man. So I'm out here for it, man. I'm going to be a fan. I'm going to be clapping my hands. Come on, Josh. I'm pulling for you. I'm letting you know I'm pulling for you, okay? Don't give it up. I know you still got something in you. Show them people. Show them jokers what you got, man. And so that's what I'm here for. I'm encouraged by that. Because, sometimes, man, you see it, he's had this in the past and the drugs and stuff like that. The guy's trying to show you he's trying to change his life. And you know what? He deserves that. He deserves it. He has had several chances. So what? Give him another one. Give him another one. If he's trying to do it, he's here. He's showing he's committed to it. Let him have it. Bring him in, man. Absolutely.
That's why I was so encouraged when he became when we inactivated him, he didn't play in the playoffs, that we didn't cut him. We left him on our practice squad and we brought him back. We re-signed him for the following year. So it's like, if he was washed, as some people say, he'd be gone. They obviously see something in him. It's like, okay, now let's give him a full off season. Let's let him get connected with Patrick. And I think there's something to that. I really do. I'm obviously hopeful for it, but like, I do think there's something to it. Those, like you said, those guys wouldn't be talking about how amazing Josh Gordon looked at practice,
Right. Yeah. They just not blowing smoke. I just think the run that they were making, they didn't feel like he was a necessary piece. And I get that part of it. Right. And so they were saying, well, look, he's not catching a whole lot of balls anyway. What we do offensively, the guys have been in the system, let them shine. And so, of course, Pringle started showing a little bit. He's like, hey, you know what? Pringle's is starting to step up a little bit, Hardman starting to step up. So this is what we was looking for. We was looking for Josh to take those reps. Those guys are trying to earn it back. And they've shown that they've earned that back to be in the offense. And so that's what ended up happening. So they's like, look, Josh, hey, we don't feel like you're a necessary piece, but we don't want to let you go. We're not saying we're not high on you. We think you got a lot there. But what we're trying to do is going to take you a little time to get comfortable in those things that we're doing. And we think that you have a right fit. We think we have a great relationship together. And so I think that's what it is. I think they didn't want to give up on that point on saying, you know what, Josh brings a lot to the table. What he's shown in his character and his dedication, you know, his work and his effort warrants him to still be on this team. And we want this guy to be here. And he can help us out. And sometimes you got to see it. It's going to come to fruition, man. I'm telling you, I think they are high on him because they know what they got in Josh Gordon. And I think they know what they want to do.
I'm excited. Last question on this before we go. Our friend of the show, Nick Athan, Chiefs Insider on Twitter, when the pictures first came out last week, first thing he said was, Mecole Hardman's not there. Oh man, I'm pretty much discouraged by the fact that he's not there. Is that kind of a guy who's been around Patrick? Does he even need to be there since he, already has rapport with Patrick, or what do you think on that?
I don't know, man. You can look at it one or two ways. You can look at it like, hey, it's discouraging. The other one's like, hey, man, he might have some other obligations right now. And so if he is and he does have that rapport, then fine. But you best believe if it's something that you had to voluntarily, not voluntarily be there, hey, shoot, go take advantage of it, right? And hopefully he's had a conversation with Pat, like, look, man, I'm not going to be able to do it this week. Shoot, I got something else going on. I had another responsibility that I had to do. But the very next one, you let me know, and I'm there for you. So I don't know, man. Look, it is what it is. So if you feel like it's necessary to be there, be there. If you feel like, hey, I'm cemented in what we do, okay, you can feel that way. But I'll tell you what, when we're not working, there's other people working, and there's other people to take your position. There's other people to trying to show what they can do. And so that's just another opportunity for them to say, hey, man, look, it's giving me a chance to shine. And he's got to take that into account too. Like, hey, man, look, these guys are there. But I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, you learn. These things are learning thing. But maybe, like I said, maybe he has other obligations. Maybe that's what it is. So I don't want to look into it. I don't want to say, hey, man, that's bad, that's wrong.
Yeah,
you shouldn't do that. And hey, man, look, I get it. Sometimes you can't be everywhere where everybody wants you to be. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, if he does have prior obligations, obviously that takes precedent, especially if you already had things planned. But yeah, no, I thought it was interesting when I saw Athan say that. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, he's not there. Huh. But opportunity, like you say,
man.
These guys are seasoned, the ones who are there.
Yeah. So that's what you just got to take, in account. Hardman, he's got to take into account that. He's like, okay, hey, these other guys are coming. You ain't coming? Nah, man, look, I got something I got to do. But the next one, absolutely, no doubt about it. So, yeah, no, man, we'll see. I just don't want to make it seem like it's such a big deal.
Yeah,
to make it an issue, because it's not. It really isn't. It's not.
Right. And plus, I mean, a lot of these guys, because there's still guys on the roster who play with Patrick, who didn't go, like that guy Dieter, who's been, everyone said that's like Patrick's butt buddy. He wasn't there. He's been on the team for a while. So and Kelsey's not there either. So, guys, maybe it is for the guys who don't really have rapport with Patrick, and Patrick wanted the new guys to be together. Maybe CEH is there though. So, I mean, I don't know, but if we are going to have more of a pass catching role for him next year, maybe he did want to be there for that. So,
yeah. Well, he's still trying to get into shape, man, from the injury too. So that's another reason he probably just wanted to take advantage of the opportunity, right?
That's true.
Plus, man, you look, the draft, after the draft is over, everything is going to start rolling. You start doing OTAs and all that. Like, it's going to be rolling from that point on. Yeah. But look, I'm a big supporter of guys getting away from football when you can. Okay, don't make it all about football. Don't have to always be your life. Sometimes, having a little bit of a peace, when you can go and play, is what you really need. And so, I think sometimes guys may take it, too serious and do a little bit too much. And sometimes it gets in the way of what you want to do on the field, because you always make it all about ball. And it's like, man, there's more to life than just that. But you need to know when you get there, boy, you better be going 100 miles an hour, so that's the thing.
Well, and that's funny, it's like, I think people, I'm not trying to dog Nick Athan for saying anything, but I think people just in general, it's like, you forget that is their, we want to talk about work-life balance for people who have office jobs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Work-life balance. I mean, that's a perfect example. Yeah, making millions and you're playing football, but like it's still their job and they're professionals in that, and they want a little break from that. They're trying to have a balance in their life. Some have families. Some just want to enjoy their single life. I mean, like that's right. And for almost pretty much all year long, you have football. You have work all year long. So for the few months you have off, let them enjoy it. Let them enjoy their summer break. Yeah.
And look, maybe as like I said, maybe like you said, prior obligations. You might have different responsibility, and so sometimes, man, you might be with your kids or whatever it may be in the family. Say, hey, man, we had this vacation plan. We're gonna go ahead and do this, but you best believe, hey, next time doesn't mean I'm not dedicated. Just means I have something else I have to do at this time. Now, hey, but when I get out there, I'm rolling. Because if I'm on vacation somewhere else, then I'm running on the beach. I'm still lifting weights. I'm still doing all these different things. With my family, I'm still getting my work in. And so you could tell guys like that. You could tell guys who are still professional that you don't have to be around all the time. But when they come in, you see like this guy's been working. You could tell this guy has been doing what he's supposed to do. And so somebody like Mecole, he's been there. And everybody that's there in the system, he's the only one that's been there as long as he has, right? Nobody else. No, he's the only one. So, yeah.
He's the most senior guy now.
Yeah. New guys. I want to meet the new guys. I want to meet the new guys, fresh. I just want to meet the new guys. Okay. Mecole, I see you a different time, Hardman. All right, we'll catch up. All right, cool. I see you. All right, I'll holler.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We don't know everything. We don't know everything. Hey, man, look at what. No, look, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. Yeah. I mean, it's just pictures we're seeing of these guys catching balls. No one even knows a backstory. All we're basing off of is two coaches' Instagram photos that say #day one of Mahomes' camp or whatever. I mean, we don't know what's going on. So I mean, we're just basing these off pictures on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Nobody's ever made their lives look better on Instagram by taking pictures. They've never done that before. No. Who's to say?
That's good.